Ever feel like you're meant to be, like the calm in the storm? That person who stays steady when everything's chaotic.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, that's kind of what crisis situation social work is all about, right?
Yeah.
We're diving into RoleCatcher's guides on this, and let me tell you, they are packed with insights.
Definitely not your average career advice.
No, not at all. It's intense. You're dealing with people in some pretty heavy situations like, think mental health emergencies, even domestic violence.
And that's where the empathy part comes in. You got to have that in spades for this work. But it's not just about feeling for people, it's about thinking on your feet.
Right, because you need to connect them with the right resources, navigate all these systems.
Exactly. And often under a ton of pressure. What I found fascinating was how RoleCatcher lays it all out. They break the career path down into stages, kind of like a roadmap.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
So you can see what's expected at each level.
From day one all the way up to those more senior role.
So smart.
Huh.
You're not just picturing yourself on the job. Like
Yeah.
day one, you get a glimpse of where it could lead.
And the real-life profiles they include. So cool. You see these crisis situations, social workers, hear about their journeys, how their careers have unfolded.
Okay, so inspiring. But let's talk about actually landing the job.
Huh.
One thing RoleCatcher nails is the interview prep. And I'm not talking vague advice. They give you the actual questions.
Yeah. Like, how would you approach a client who's resistant to help, who thinks they don't need it, even when they clearly do?
It's like having a cheat sheet in a good
Well,
way.
absolutely. And get this, they have this AI thing, RoleCatcher Copilot. It analyzes job descriptions, helps you tailor your resume.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah, and it gets better. It helps you practice your interview answers, even gives you feedback.
It's like having a personal coach. Okay, Copilot sounds almost too good to be true.
It's pretty impressive.
But hey, if it helps you stand out in the job market, why not, right? And speaking of standing out, RoleCatcher highlights these certifications that can give your resume a real boost, like a crisis intervention certification or a mental health first aid certification.
Exactly. It shows you're serious, like you've gone the extra mile.
It's not just about checking boxes, though, right? It's about developing those core skills.
Absolutely. Active listening, thinking clearly when things get tough, navigating those tricky social situations, those are essential.
And you can actually build those skills through things like volunteering, even shadowing.
Oh, for sure. They highlighted that. Internships, too. So you don't necessarily need years of experience to break in.
Interesting. So experience is valuable, but showing you've actively cultivated these skills can really make a difference.
Huge difference. And that's where RoleCatcher adds another layer. They talk about how crisis situation social work is changing.
How so?
There's this trend towards community-based care, a more holistic approach.
So it's not just about like individual counseling anymore.
Right. It's about working with families, schools, healthcare providers, the whole picture.
Wow, very interconnected. So for someone starting out, that probably means
Collaboration is key. Being a strong communicator, for sure. And guess what else? Being tech savvy is becoming more and more important.
makes sense with telehealth and everything.
Exactly. Electronic health records are everywhere now, so those tech skills are a huge plus. And that links back to RoleCatcher's whole thing, giving you the actual tools you need. They even connect you with professional organizations, conferences, all that.
It's like they've thought of everything, not just getting the job, but thriving in it long term.
Exactly. And they don't shy away from the tough stuff either.
Yeah, they talk about burnout, right? The emotional toll this work can take.
It's real. You're dealing with intense situations, often with limited resources. It can definitely wear you down.
That makes a lot of sense. They stress strong boundaries, knowing when to seek support, all of that.
Self-care is not a luxury in this field. It's a necessity.
I remember a line from the guides, something like, being the calm in the storm means weathering those storms yourself.
So true. It really resonated with me too.
And it's not just about being empathetic. They really broke it down. Coordination, persuasion, navigating complex systems.
You've got to be able to advocate for your clients, sometimes in really tough situations.
So we've covered a lot. The challenges, the rewards, the skills you need. Was the one thing someone who's drawn to this work should take away? It's not just about having a big heart, right? You need that. But also some serious resilience.
Oh, yeah, you got to have some grit. It's about knowing yourself, knowing what you're getting into. This isn't for everyone.
And that's where resources like RoleCatcher, I mean, they can be so helpful. They help you take that passion and like make it real.
They really do. They give you the tools, the knowledge. They really bridge that gap between, just dreaming about a career and actually like going for it.
It's so easy to get caught up in the dream, but they give you that roadmap, like those first steps.
Exactly. And I think that's crucial, especially with a field like this.
So for anyone listening, who feels drawn to this kind of work,
It's going to be tough, no doubt about that.
but the rewards,
Yeah.
I mean, helping people through those really difficult times.
There's nothing like it. You're making a real difference, a tangible difference, and to me, that's what makes it all worthwhile.
Totally. We've covered so much today.
We really have the good, the tough, and everything in between.
But one thing I kept thinking about was the guides didn't really go into the emotional weight of this work.
It's heavy,
It
yeah.
makes you think, like, how do you take care of yourself in the midst of all that?
That's the million-dollar question, right? How do you stay balanced, protect your own well-being while you're pouring so much into others?
It's something to really consider. And on that note, folks, that wraps up our deep dive into crisis situation social work. We've explored the ins and outs, the highs and lows, and everything in between. It's a path that demands a lot, no doubt, but the potential for impact is huge. As you continue exploring, remember to prioritize your own well-being. That's it for us, folks. Take care.